Hello, everybody. Happy Saturday, November the 22nd, 2025 edition. I hope you're doing well. Thank you so much for stopping by. First off, this is my 1000th episode, and I would like to thank each and every one of you for being a part of some, if not all, of those episodes. It means a lot anytime anybody comments or watches. I appreciate all the likes, those that have subscribed. I've met a lot of great people through YouTube, and definitely thrilled to announce that this is my 1000th episode on this 22nd day of November. I was reading a devotional here. It says, "Let me seek the goodness that only God can put in my heart. If I choose to act on even one opportunity to do good, I will have introduced a new blessing into my world." So I like that saying there. And I got to thinking about that word, introduced. So on this 1000th episode, I'm going to be talking about some things that were introduced to me. All because I was introduced to my dad. And he passed away a couple weeks ago. So he didn't have much insurance, and the funeral expenses were high. So I'd like to start off this video by announcing that I have a GoFundMe account set up. Some of you know, some of you don't. But like I said, my dad passed away a couple weeks ago. And just asking for donations and for people to get the word out. So far, I've had people to donate through GoFundMe, and so far I've got 28 donations totaling $1,650, which is a lot, and I'm so thankful for the 28 people that have done that, which is 24% of the $7,000 goal that I set. For the expenses. All the money goes to the expenses for my dad's funeral. And I have a GoFundMe account, https://gofund.me/3237cf717. I'll leave the link in the description. But if you can get the word out or donate, and it would be very much appreciated. And but this video I'm gonna be talking about some things that my dad introduced me to. Pretty much 3 L's that deal with his legacy that he left behind. He left behind a legacy of love. He introduced me to really what love was by being a good father. Another legacy that he left me was laughter. I love to laugh because he loved to laugh, and I love to see people laugh or love to see people smile. And then the third one is what I'll be focusing in on today, that my dad left me a legacy of just a love for lyrics. The third L, lyrics, or music. We love lyrics and songs. We love music, instruments, things associated with music. And my dad introduced me to music in so many different ways. I still remember the very first cassette tape he bought me. This ain't it, but here's a cassette tape just for references. Roy Rogers and Dale Evans, "Peace in the Valley." A lot of great gospel songs there. But I remember the first tape that my dad ever bought me was the Loving Spoonful. Got it one Christmas. I got a cassette tape for Christmas, and a General Electric radio. But listened to that Loving Spoonful tape so much. He also introduced me to country music. He bought me a George Strait tape. I love all different kinds of styles of music, and I listened to a lot of different styles when I was younger, but as I got older, I got really into the gospel music, and that's what I primarily listen to, but I listen to all different kinds if it's a positive message. a good, clean, positive message. I listen to different kinds, but primarily I love gospel and especially Southern gospel. But you know, my family was listening to cassette tapes a lot, and if it wasn't cassette tapes, it was back in the day. We was listening to some records such as the Blackwood Brothers on vinyl. You know, my dad was always spinning the records. He was a DJ, and so was my brother. We're just a very musically inclined family, all because of my dad introducing me to music, such as these cassette tapes, vinyl, 8 tracks. Here's a collection of gospel greats from the Canaan record family. Just different groups. The Happy Goodman family, the Lewis family, the Florida Boys, Little Roy Lewis, the Cathedrals, Teddy, Hutlum and the Gems, the Inspirations, the Rex Nealon Singers, Rusty Goodman, Jimmy Davis, Mercy River Boys, Wendy Bagwell. You can see that's copyright 1982, but that's an 8-track. I listened to 8 tracks some when I was a kid. Then we cassette tapes, also CDs. Big Crab Family fan. I love their music, so I listened to them on CD. And of course, we watched videotapes of music as well, such as the Cathedrals. But just a wide range of music on different kinds of sources, but all because my dad introduced me to music. And if you've ever watched my videos before, this is the 1000th episode, and a lot of my episodes are inspirational. And my dad has inspired me in so many different ways, but he's inspired me. I collect sports cards that I show sometimes because of my dad, autographs that I show sometimes because of my dad. And here I'm going to combine the music and the autographs into one, because here in this album, my dad's got it labeled gospel, got the American flag, but within it are either people that I sent off to get their autograph, or earlier on, my dad used to do it for me. He would send a self-addressed stamped envelope off to different gospel singers, and they would send stuff back. So sometimes I would send off, sometimes my dad did, and then sometimes I met these people. But I've been to a Stephen Curtis Chapman concert before, but let's see if I can knock down this glare. But I've never met him, but he did send me this autograph through the mail. Yesterday was Stephen Curtis Chapman's birthday, but a great gospel singer that I like. My favorite group of all time, of any style of music, is the Cathedrals. And this is all their autographs. The 3 guys on the right have all passed away. Roger Bennett, George Younts, Glenn Payne. And then the 2 guys on the end, Scott Fowler and Ernie Haas, they're still singing gospel music. But this is all of their autographs that I got through the mail. My favorite singer of all time was in the Cathedrals, the bass singer, George Younts. I talk about this all the time. I want to go to heaven. The first person I want to see when I get to heaven is Jesus, and then some family members. But not long after that, I'd like to meet George Younts. Just a great character. He loved humor and he loved music just like me. But I'm thrilled to have this autograph. He signed it in red, my favorite color. I love when signatures are in red. Jake Hess. If you know me, I love to shout out my fellow Alabamians, and Jake Hess was a gospel singer with the Imperials, and he was in some other groups, but he was mainly in the Imperials, and he's from Alabama, but he's passed away. But I remember being introduced, I was introduced to him through the Gaither homecoming singings, just showing different autographs that I have of different gospel singers. And maybe you've heard of some of these before, and maybe you haven't, but maybe I'll introduce you to somebody and you'll start listening to them, and that would be cool, that I can take something that my dad introduced me to and introduce it to somebody else. Here's the Perrys and their autographs. I got a lot of glare here. You can see my hand. The Lewis family. I love bluegrass music. They're a gospel bluegrass group, family group. Little Roy Lewis on the end. He plays banjo, real funny character. Another one of those, a great mixture of humor and music. Ivan Parker, great singer. The Shadrax Trio, Tennessee Harmony. I didn't want this to be a long video, but I see I'm already 10 minutes in, so I'll try to speed through this. The McCameys, Vicky Daniel. I love when people personalize things. I love autographs regardless, but it's really special when they personalize. But she says, "God bless you," which is cool. Karen Peck. I was drawing a blank on their name, but it's For King and Country, two brothers here, Joel and Luke. If you've ever heard the song "God Only Knows What You've Been Through," that's them. They got a lot of other great songs. I dropped something. Here's from the Gaither Homecoming is Lily Nawes. She inscribed at Highbury, "Love Lily," Philippians 1:6. Love the inscription there. She also wrote me a note. "Highbury, God bless, love you, Miss Lily." Love to listen to her on the Gaither Homecoming videos. But these are all special to me. I don't think I've ever seen anybody show their gospel music autograph collection. There's probably some out there, but maybe I can introduce you to that. Maybe you can be interested in doing that as well. I enjoy getting autographs from everybody, really, but I love gospel music. Here's the guy one of the two guys that hasn't passed away from the cathedrals, Ernie Haas, there in the white suit, but with his group, the Signature Sound, Ernie Haas and the Signature Sound. But I love that it says "For Barry" and a smiley face. That's another inscription that I like, when somebody puts smiley faces on inscriptions. But, this is the Browders, great Southern gospel group. Like a lot of their songs. I've already mentioned the Gaither Homecoming videos. They're on so many different channels. If you've never heard of them, listen to them. They've wrote a lot of great songs. My favorite song that they wrote is "There's Something About That Name," but there's a lot of others that they've wrote. "Because He Lives," several, probably hundreds of thousands of songs that they've wrote. But Bill and Gloria Gaither, it says "Blessings, Bill Gaither," and Gloria Gaither give an inscription of Psalms 139. And I've got them a few times, as you can see. But I talked about how my dad introduced me to the love of lyrics, and I love people that write great songs, and the Gaithers do that. Here is David Huff. I think it says "In Christ," David Huff. He was in a group called David and the Giants. I think they still may be around. I haven't looked it up lately, but David and the Giants. James Wright in Redemption, to Barry from Redemption. The Weatherfords. Lily Fern Weatherford in the middle there. Willing Hart. I love some of these names. Willing Hart, that's cool. The Hayes family. The Mark Trammell Trio. Mark Trammell, the guy in the middle there, used to be with the Cathedrals as well. He plays the bass guitar. Paula Dunn. We got the Bishops. Kenny Bishop, Mark Bishop, Kenneth Bishop, and I like his name, Carl Jr. Most people think of a fast food restaurant when I hear Carl Jr., but one of the bishops is Carl Jr. as well. But I love family groups. They're a good family group. The bishops write a lot of great songs. I like when there's a bunch of autographs for one group. That's cool. I think that's Gold City. The Singing Echoes. The Freemans. Met this guy several times, Michael Combs. God bless Michael Combs, Psalm 63 and 3. I sometimes sing in church, Drinking from My Saucer, and which is really my testimonial song, but he sings that one. Love that song. The Wisnants. The Inspirations, great Southern gospel group. That was Jerry and Tina Pace on the other side. We got Jody Brown, Indian Family. But look some of these people up if you've never heard of them. Galloways. I'd love to introduce you to some great music. There's the Galloways, Wrote a Letter. The Bean Family, Wrote a Letter. Carmen. Although I think that's an auto pen, but still I was a big Carmen fan back in the day. Undivided. God bless. There's the Crab Family. Once the Cathedrals stopped singing, the Crab Family became my favorite group. The Blackwood Quartet there. I've already showed their record. They originally sung back up to Elvis Presley. The Blackwood Brothers. They wrote a little note there to my dad. The Melody Boys Quartet. The Bean Family, like that name. This is a group I met. Naomi and the Sagos. I met Naomi before she passed away. A couple of times, I think. Tammy Jones, Robinette, Pure in Heart. The Telestials. I love my sports autographs, but I like these probably even more. The McCameys. Parker Trio. Young Harmony. They personalize some stuff. You Are Made in the Image of God. So cool. Barry, Jesus Is Your Best Friend. I love that. Those reminders, things that I already knew, but it's great to be reminded. Always keep Jesus first, they say. Many blessings, P3. The Watchman Quartet. Personal note there. I love the personal notes. Another personal note. Ricky Atkinson and Compassion. Another personal note. They, there it is, they signed down there. The Tony Brothers. Amy Lambert. Ted Long. Two Barry, Jim Boggs. I met these guys before, the one-man quartet. Chris Smith and his son Samuel. He was really fun. He sung all four parts. That's why it's called the one-man quartet. He sung all four parts. Not many people can do that. Michael Combs, once again. One of my favorite singers. The Shadracks Trio. I met these sisters Robin and Kim Rhodes. Blessings, Robin and Kim Tewberry. I met these people, Kevin Spencer and friends, a couple times. Annette Herndon. I've met these people a couple of times, the Isaacs, which really thrilled my soul to meet them because they're Jewish. To me, it's a blessing to be able to meet people that are. I mean, I love meeting all people, but it's something special to me about meeting Jewish people. And I enjoy listening to the Isaacs, some of my favorite singers. Signature Sound again. The Crabb Family again. Crabb Family personalized something to my dad. I went to a singing and they signed it for me, the front, then the back. They signed something to my dad since he wasn't there. Here is one of my first Christian concerts. Probably my second ever I went to. Me and my brother went to a Petra concert in Pensacola, Florida. And then the Crabb Family is a collection of their songs inside. It's a songbook, but they signed the cover. And then this last piece is I went to Dollywood, and there's a group that sings inside of Dollywood called the Kingdom Heirs. And this is them. They signed their photos. But there you have it. My dad, like I said, introduced me to music. And through this video, I kind of introduced you to there's my dad. I'm on the right there. My dad's holding me, and then my mom is holding my brother. My dad passed away a couple weeks ago. My brother passed away 1 year ago yesterday. So experienced a lot of loss this past year, but I'm still thankful. And I'm thankful so much that my dad introduced me to so many great things, but I just mentioned some here today. But maybe some of these groups that I talked about, I can introduce you to them and listen to them. A lot of great music. But my time is up. I thank you for yours. Thank you so much for stopping by. If you can, go to the GoFundMe. And if you can't, that's fine. I don't want to put nobody in a financial bind. But if you can help, please do. If you've already helped, thank you. And help get the word out. Still got, like I said, got 1/4 of the goal. Still got 3/4 of the goal to go. But thank you for all those that have helped. And God bless you. I hope you have a great Saturday remainder. And I hope to see you again somewhere down the road.